Welcome to a live Village in Motion. I wanted to take a moment to just explain to you that we are functioning. And for those of you who may not know me, I'm Diane Gatsis Havinga, your host, and also the executive producer for Village in Motion. We are functioning on a very skeleton crew. It's myself and our other full-time staffer, producer, director, Terrence. And but we're coming in every day as all the employees here on campus to help and do whatever we can to make this period a little bit easier. I'm not sure, Lisa, that's the word I want to use, but let's just say bearable. How about bearable?
Bearable.
And I am really fortunate to have in the studio, and again, we're practicing the social distancing. We don't help people put on their mics anymore. They're totally sanitized after everyone who comes here in the studio. And so everyone puts them on, and then they take them off, and then we clean them. I do more cleaning here than I do at home now. So let me introduce Lisa Fiddermon, who's our Pastoral Ministries coordinator. And I bet you're busier now than you've ever been.
Yes, absolutely. So much has been going on, but we're just very grateful and thankful for all of the residents. They've just been so wonderful about saying thank you for all the things that we've been doing in terms of helping with just about whatever, answering questions, in terms of deliveries, because we're also helping out and doing that with the concierge desk. And we're just thankful to the residents and also for the executive team. They're really doing an incredible job. As Chandra says, you know, building this bicycle and riding it at the same time. It's really work, but you know, we're coming together and we're doing it.
And we talked just a few minutes before we went on the air about how when we get to the gatehouse now, you know, each person who goes, who tries to enter is stopped. Our temperature is taken. They have trouble taking my temperature because I think I'm cooler than most people. But today they actually were able to take it the first time around. But so they take our temperature, and then they ask us a series of questions, and one of them is, well, how are you feeling today? And I want to say, you gotta be kidding. And I look at them and they get really nervous, but I'm like, what do you want me to tell you? Do you really want my honest? I don't know how I'm feeling anymore. You know, I will say, on one hand, I feel better when I'm at work because it takes your mind off of things. I have so much work to do that, you know, it's more important for me now, and my kids tell me continually, Mom, you have to take those breaks, you know, so I'm trying to go back to my kind of afternoon walk just to take the break.
Yeah.
But it does, to a certain extent, kind of alleviates the constant stuff that happens when you're at home, and it's a little bit more quieter, and you start thinking of, you know, everything. I mean, I try not to watch the news anymore and read all the stories. I do that more in the morning than at night. But how do you tell people or help people to try to get over this stress that we're all under right now?
Yeah, and I think all of those things that you listed are great things because we are all in this together. And I think that's a comfort also in knowing that we are in it together, and the fact that you're doing things that are within your control. You know, we're living in this this space of this pandemic that is out of control, and we're feeling the stress of that. So it's good to just focus on the things that we do have control over. And I find that that's been very helpful. We have control over our attitudes, maintaining a positive attitude, being thankful about things. One of the things that I do is every day I have a list of things that I'm just thankful for, and that helps keep my attitude positive. Of course, you know, getting some sunlight, opening opening up the windows is a great thing to do. Just being grateful for the sun and being able to feel the sunlight, things like that. There are so many other things that we can do that are in our control. We don't have control over the people who buy up all the toilet paper at this, grocery store. We don't have control over that, but we do have control over the monitoring our own supply of toilet paper. So that's all we can really do.
So one day at a time, one moment at a time, right? Because that's all we're guaranteed is what's happening now, not what's happening in the future.
Absolutely, and prayer helps a lot. Also, there are. This is Holy Week, and we have this opportunity to really, really focus on prayer. It's an opportunity to really. Take a second look at how we look at prayer and view prayer. And I think a lot of us are praying a lot more than we once had. So during this Holy Week. And even with Ramadan coming up in a few weeks, each faith tradition has some type of prayer tradition that we follow that helps us to cope and helps to keep our stress down.
So, what do you say to residents who are like, but I can't go to church, I can't go to the chapel, I'm stuck inside, so it's, my comfort or my release has been physically taken away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's where we're so thankful for you and GSV-TV, because you're allowing us to be able to broadcast all of the worship services. I know there are lots of things that are going on behind the scenes and trying to make sure that happens. And so we're really grateful to be able to broadcast through technology the different worship services that we can be a part of.
So I know you have a kind of a list of some of that, so why don't we go ahead and start with that? Sure.
Now the Village Church has been broadcasting for a few weeks now, and it's an opportunity for people to tune in and to be connected that way. I know this coming Sunday there's going to be a virtual communion service where you can take your grape juice and your bread of your choice,
or wine,
whichever one you prefer, and we'll be able to do a virtual communion service. So that's kind of nice to be able to be a part of. Also, Green Spring Fellowship has a rebroadcast as well.
And they were live last night.
Chaplain Annie Smith was the speaker, the presenter, preacher, and so that was a nice treat for her to be able to come on and do that.
And that will rebroadcast tomorrow? It's Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing, who knows what day it is? And I didn't even say it was Tuesday, April 7th, so I'll say it right now.
Yeah, and then there's also the Catholic community with they're following St. Bernadette and all of the things that they're doing and rebroadcasting their services for Good Friday and for Monday, Thursday, and all of that. So.
Right. And some of the services, I will say, especially Maundy Thursday and Good Friday services, we're actually, we've gone into our archives and we've pulled last year's services to rebroadcast. So you're going to say, well, wait a minute, that church looks full, or why are those people in the chapel? It's because it's from last year, but I don't think things have changed. Good Friday is kind of Good Friday, right?
Yeah, the message is the same.
So, but anyway, that will be aired Thursdays, this Thursday and this Friday, of course.
Great, yeah. So we're just really thankful to be able to work with you on that, and And we have, just to share a little bit of some other things that we're doing in Pastoral Ministries, we're available for call-in services if someone would like prayer, or if someone would like just to be checked in on, and specifically words of comfort. We have our Daily Bread booklets that's available, and we can have those delivered by request. And of course, the usual number to call in is the Pastoral Ministries number, which is the 604-4218 extension. And if there's no, you can always leave a message and we'll definitely return the phone call. But we want people to know that Pastoral Ministries is available for anyone who is looking for answers and has questions about faith or questions about whatever it is that they may be experiencing. So we have that, and then on the 15th is Faith, Grief, and Loss. There'll be some talking points on the New York best-selling book by Max Lucado. It's called Unshakable Faith. And I think, Unshakable Hope is the name of the book. And all of us can use a little more hope these days, considering all that's going on.
Well, that all sounds like an active plan going forward, and I know we've talked about doing some other things, but right now we're at a capacity.
Yeah.
But we'll try to do some additions. We have kind of changed, as people probably already know, our TV lineup starting this weekend. We're actually expanding our I call it spiritual offerings, and we're trying to encompass more faith groups. And so even if you're not Christian, this is a good opportunity to hear from the Buddhist perspective, or the Orthodox perspective, or some people who aren't necessarily in the traditional religion. They were, they astrology and all that. It's amazing, some of the things. So just to give people some other opportunities so that they don't feel alone. I know it's hard being in an apartment. I thank God every day, especially last night. I came home on my back deck and I sat out along the trees and the birds, and I went, I am so blessed to have bought this place when I bought it, because I can be out on a deck and be social distancing. So.
Yeah.
So any last thoughts you have to help us get through this? And let's be honest, Lisa, we know this is not just going to disappear next week or the end of April. This is going to be with us. So any thoughts that you want to leave us with that?
Well, just want to send some greetings from Pastoral Ministries, basically to just let everyone know that we are praying for everyone here. And we're praying for this situation, this pandemic, this crisis, and we're looking forward to a time when we can all get together again and see each other. And it's coming. Of course, like you said, it's not going to be tomorrow, but one day it's going to happen, and we're looking forward to that.
Sounds great. So thank you so much for taking the time off of your busy schedule. I know you're being pulled in other directions than just Pastoral Ministries. So if you see Lisa in the community, remember, you don't talk to her, you can wave to her.
That's right.
Or call her on the phone, and that's what we're
Absolutely.
asking people here too. Don't come in, but you can still call us. You can email. I assume the email
Yes.
request would also be. So basically, it's the first name dot last name at erickson.com, and you'll get almost everyone on who works for Green Spring.
Absolutely.